Hi, and welcome back to the final episode of the season for Grit and Grace Leadership Talks Season 2. I'm excited today to share with you a little topic that I get asked about a lot in business because of my background and how I put myself out there. So the topic today is going to be with myself, and it's the power of personal brand and marketing in business. Now, I know that some people that follow me must be wondering, how do I do it all? A lot of people ask me that. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of how I do it, how I've built my brand through social media, and what I'm doing that's working and what things I'm going to try next. So hopefully this will help you and also encourage you to put yourself out there more. I know a lot of people who follow my podcast are in the community services sector, so often don't feel like they should be putting themselves out there or like putting themselves on show, because a lot of what you have been trained to do is to be, like very confidential, very private with different matters because of the clientele that you're seeing. And that means that you are not naturally someone that would probably put yourself on camera or take photos or put yourself out there. But I want to encourage you that I didn't start off being able to do all the stuff that I do now. I'm only able to do it because I've built it up over time. It's kind of been a layering process, so to speak. So I didn't just get from where I am today, like at the start of my journey when I started this 10 years ago. So I hope that me sharing you some pointers and tips and a bit about my journey will help you and encourage you to start building your personal brand online. Whether you plan to have a business or not, you can still be a thought leader and someone that is respected in the community because of the way you show up online. So I'm someone that's been running, as I said, run my business for 10 years, and I'm very proud of that achievement. And over that time, I have done a lot of training, marketing courses, personal development stuff, a lot of work, and coaching as well. And that has helped me articulate what my brand is and my personal brand and what I'm about. And that's how I show up online. I have over 25,000 followers across my social media platforms in business and personal, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And I also run a Facebook group called the SWCP Community, which all of you are in. If you're watching this, you might be in the group or you might have heard of the group. We have nearly 7,700 members at the moment, and it's growing all the time. And we've been plugging away at that group for about 8 years. And something I'm really proud of, to build a community of social workers, counselors, and psychologists together in one group. So we get to collaborate, connect, ask questions, and share what we're up to and share our businesses in that group. And it's been really great to do that. So I encourage you to check that out if you're in the sector and you have not joined our group and you're watching this. But if you are in the group watching this, I thank you for being part of the group and participating, collaborating, connecting with members, and making comments on posts and encouraging all the students in the group. And I'm hoping you're enjoying some of the new changes we've brought in from our marketing team and myself. That should help us do more of that together. So what is the importance of personal branding in leadership? I thought that was also a good point to bring in, because some of you may be watching in a leadership role and wondering why you should bother doing this. With a strong personal brand, you can establish a credibility with your audience. You become a thought leader in your field, and you open up new opportunities in your business and career growth. Good thought, hey? I bet you probably didn't think that it would help you in your career growth, right? But it truly does. In today's highly competitive world, making a name for yourself is just as important as making a name for your business. Self-branding is an essential part of building a business now, and your professional identity. And it can help you establish strong personal reputation as well, and gain influence and create a sense of reliability with your target audience. So, I'm someone that's worked on both. So I've obviously got my business profiles and pages, and that's very professional, and we post a lot of content on there. But I also post on my own Instagram. I've got my own personal Instagram. I've got my own personal LinkedIn profile and my personal Facebook profile. And I build that as well. So I've built on my Instagram about 10,000 followers now, and under Kate Inspired for Life, that is my Instagram handle. And because I'm all about showing people how to live an inspired life. So I'm all about affirmations, quotes, building that personal brand, which I have done over many years, and share my thoughts, my growth, my tips. But I also really enjoy sharing with everyone, like different things I'm learning, and some things are more personal that I don't necessarily want to put on my business profile. So I definitely think it's it's important to have both, so that people, if they want to get to know you personally, can see what you write about, as well as having a professional business page. Now, when I started out, I had to do everything. So I had to start off with posting for my business and then posting personally. Over the years, I've built up my brand so that I can afford to actually outsource some of my marketing to a company called Elephant in the Boardroom. I'll also connect you with them as well in this post, because they have helped me in building that personal business brand over the years. Together, we have partnered together, and they post on 3 platforms a month for me, 3 to 5 times a week. And that has been a great way to keep the consistent branding and marketing out there without me having to physically create the canvas and do it as well. Now, when I started off, I started doing these myself, and then I got my admins to start doing these posts, and we just felt like it wasn't landing. It wasn't quite hitting the mark. And it wasn't until we went to Elephant in the Boardroom and they were able to capture what our brand is and what we're about, and they were able to really come up with some amazing content and branding. Now, every month they come up with a content calendar that I don't even very rarely have to check or edit. So it's made my life so much easier knowing that that branding's going out, and then I post what I feel inspired by in between. So obviously, if I'm having a day in the office with my team, I'll post pictures. If I'm seeing a client meeting, I'll post content on that. If I listen to something, a podcast, or I learn something new and I want to share that and I'm inspired, I want to share it with you all, I will post that too. So I hope that encourages you, because, you don't have to do it all alone. You can be part of outsourcing that. You don't have to do it all. And it's quite affordable too. It's not a huge expense in business, I feel, to outsource that service. But they know the hashtags, they know the right groups to post in, they know which platforms are going to work for your client group. And it's also helped a lot of my friends in business as well, working with Elephant Boardroom. So I'm going to just go into a little bit about why self-branding is important, and I've got some notes. When people hear your name, they should immediately think of the qualities that define you, your values, and what you stand for. This is especially important for entrepreneurs, professionals, and executives who want to stand out in a crowded market and establish themselves as a thought leader and respected in their field. Creating a personal brand helps build trust and credibility with your target audience. By sharing your expertise, knowledge, and experience, you can position yourself as a reliable, credible source of information, which could lead to more business opportunities and partnerships. A personal brand can help you become more relatable. People want to do business with you, not a faceless corporation. But by creating a personal brand that highlights your unique personality, interests, and quirks, you can connect with your audience on a deeper level and build a long-lasting relationships. I have noticed that I get a lot of engagement when I post content on my personal page compared to my brand page. For instance, when I share behind the scenes information about creating a podcast like this, I often receive a flood of questions such as, how do I start a podcast? And these inquiries are organic leads that are more likely to convert to a successful sale in the future. So if we've reached out and connected, and they see it as a way we can work together. So let's dive into some tips for building a personal brand that can help you achieve your career goals. I want you, number one, to define your brand identity. First step in a building is a personal brand is to define your brand identity. Your brand identity should reflect your personality, values, and what you stand for. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. If you've got a notebook and pen, write these down. What are my core values? Is number one. What are my strengths and weaknesses? Number two. And what unique perspective or expertise do I bring to the table? Number three. So have a think about those. And once you have a clear understanding of your brand identity, you can start crafting your personal brand message. So hopefully those questions get you started. And then I want you to create a consistent online presence. In today's digital age, having a consistent online presence is crucial for building a personal brand. This includes having professional websites, social media profiles, a blog where you can start sharing your thoughts and expertise. Make sure your online presence reflects your brand identity and values, and be consistent in your messaging and your tone of voice. For example, by conducting an audit of my social media feed, you will immediately discover that I consistently share content on business tips, key learnings I am having in business and life, and my family. Through my Instagram stories, I also share empowering quotes, funny videos. I provide insights into my daily life. This communicates my values and interests to my followers and makes me more accessible and relatable. Ultimately, your social media presence can inspire others to achieve similar goals and help build a sense of community among your followers. Engage and build relationships with your audience by responding to their comments and questions and feedback. Now, that's something that people don't necessarily realize, but with the social media algorithms, it is really important that if someone comments to you on your post or whatever you post on, that you at least reply back with at least 4 words. So instead of saying thank you, say thank you very much, because that shows Facebook that you're engaging with your audience. Here's a little tip that I have worked out recently. And then we want to make sure that we avoid being inauthentic. Your followers will see right through this. It's important to be true to your brand identity and avoid trying to be something that you're not. You don't use gimmicks or try to create a person that doesn't align to your values and personality, because that will show through. That's something that I've had to build over time. And that's why I believe I gained a lot of followers as well. Because people tell me what they see online is what they get in person. So that is something I'm really proud of, especially staff that come work for me or clients or candidates that follow me. When we meet in person, they are like, so nice. It's so nice to connect as if we've known each other for years. Now, some of these people have not even engaged or liked on my posts, but they're in my network on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, and then we've ended up doing business together. So you just never know when that can happen, and how we can together you can create some magic. So that leads me to networking and collaborating. I want to push that point, because networking, collaborating with others in your industries is a great way to build your personal brand. Attending industry events, joining professional associations, connecting with like-minded individuals on social media, like in my Facebook SWCP community, collaborating with others in your industry can also help you gain exposure and credibility. On this podcast series, I've engaged a lot of different industry experts in the community services, NJS and not-for-profit space. And I believe that that's going to help build their brands as well as mine. We want to also publish quality content. Establish yourself as an authority in your field. Publish high quality content that showcases your expertise. You can achieve this by writing informative blog posts, guest hosting on podcasts, creating videos, writing informative posts, knowledge to your audience. Make sure your content is well researched, informative, and value to your audience. I would say at least once a week, do like a thought post or on something that you're learning. Like I do Motivational Mondays. So I share about something I've learned in a podcast or something I've read or gone to some training. And people seem to like that to motivate them for Mondays. I would encourage you to do one of those at least a week, and try and do something every other day, if not every day, if you can. For example, my niche is defined as a businesswoman in recruitment. So my content is often focused on that area. It's crucial to focus on your niche and continuously develop your knowledge and skills. This can involve attending conferences, taking courses, and staying up to date with industry publications. Consistency is the key when it comes to creating quality content, and it can also help you adapt to relevant trends. So I recommend Reels for Instagram. That has got me a lot of reach and engagement that I don't necessarily get from doing a post. I also encourage you to, be consistent. So for some people, they might find to be consistent, they need to have a theme every day of the week. We're doing that in our SWCP community. It could be things like Motivational Monday, Training Tuesdays, Wellbeing Wednesdays, like Tailor Care Thursdays, Fun Fridays. You can come up with all different themes, and you can share on that theme on that day. So I find that's really helpful to give people inspiration, or you might just find another theme that you like to share about on a consistent day, and then people tune in for that day that interests them. The last one of the last points I want to make is around being authentic and transparent. Authenticity and transparency are essential if you are wanting to build trust in your network. Being yourself and letting your personality shine through is critical for your personal brand. To be transparent about your successes and your failures. I'm very much about not just sharing my highlight reel, but saying, you know what, this is a really hard season and I'm working through it. And this is what I'm doing to help me. I think people really value that. Like we're not robots. We can't show up and be that inspirational person all the time. And then there's days where I'm just not inspired to share. And so I don't post, and there's other days where I'm like loving life, sharing everything, posting it. And that's fine too. So, but just doing it consistently is the key. And this can, I think that's really important. People appreciate your honesty and you showing up. Your vulnerability can help deepen your audience and trust in your audience as well. So, it's okay to say you're struggling or that you're not okay or that this is going on for you. You don't have to disclose all your stories and what's going down and all the details, but you can just say, I'm having a rough time. And you know what? I respect people who do that because, if someone's always up and on and energetic, I have to question, I'm like, are you a real person? Surely your life can't be this perfect. And it's been really interesting because, there's some influencers I follow on social media and I've noticed lately they've started posting more and more around the lows as well as the highs in their lives, and less around looking picture perfect every time they jump on camera and more just natural, with no makeup on, just getting ready or something. And I really admire that because I'm someone that's always felt like I have to be really polished online, and always show up like that. And I love that. That's always been me. But, for some people, that's not them. You might say, hey, I'm not into my colorful clothes and makeup like you, Kate. How can I show up? But you know what? Just be yourself. Honestly, show up as yourself and share what you can. There's some people that I follow. You'll see Helen Gray. You'll see Sheena. There are moderators in this group, and they are great at this. They have built their brands, their social media platforms. I've found over time, and they really share. They really show up and share. What they're learning, what they're doing as themselves. And I love following that and what they say because I feel like, their way that they communicate and their messaging is different to mine. And that's completely awesome because I love that they're unique to them. So, you might vibe me or you might vibe their energy that's different to mine. And that's okay. We all have different people that we look up to or get inspired by. So I encourage you to do that. When you start sharing online. So many people ask me how I have time to attend, to show up and post everything I do, share everything I do. How do I do this? And like I said before, I use a company called Elephant in the Boardroom, and they help me with the business professional posts. And then I show up in between. And I guess it's become a habit now. So I would encourage you to pick 2 platforms that you want to start with. So if your target audience is, if they're younger, I'd go TikTok, Instagram. If they're older, I'd go LinkedIn, more professional at LinkedIn and Facebook. I found is better for that. And actually look at just showing up consistently. Maybe you might say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to show up and do a post of some sort. Now, I often get inspired to do a post about something when I'm either late at night, just laying on the couch, relaxing. Somehow I get inspiration about a topic or thought. So I start writing it up in the notes in my phone. So there's notes section in your phone. I literally start typing it up. I'll do a title and I start posting, writing my thoughts down. And then I won't actually post that to the next morning. I've also captured, I have every 3 months, I do like a mini photo shoot. So I get all glammed up and I have a few different outfits and I get someone to take photos for me, whether it's just on the iPhone or professional. And that means that whenever I'm having, I've got inspiration, I can share one of those pictures with the post. I don't have to think about what am I wearing that day to post it. I've got like a folder in my phone with all those images that I can use at any point. So I encourage you to build up some photos. If you are looking for a photographer in Sydney, I've got one that I have used recently who's really helped me with my business just to get some professional branded pictures. And that is a great place to start to building your online presence and your website. And they can do ones where you're drinking coffee or walking down the street or on the laptop. And it just creates that kind of image, that professional image. So I hope this encourages you all to kind of get started on a way that you're going to build your personal brand online, and not be afraid to share what you've got to say, because don't dim your light in this world. I mean, so many people have so much wisdom and knowledge and expertise inside of them that is not being shared. And if I didn't show up online and share what I know, how would you know about me? So it's really important that we take the time to, invest in social media and branding, especially if you're considering going out in private practice later or your own, sole trader or own business. Start building it today, because you never know, in a few years' time, you might create an amazing group like I have, the SWCP community. You may create an amazing brand that people follow all over Australia like I have. And you may end up having 25,000 followers too. So, I encourage you to not be afraid to step up and step out and put yourself out there, because the world is waiting for you to shine and shine bright and share your message of wisdom, hope, inspiration. And, the world wants to hear from you. So I encourage you all to get out and let your light shine today in the world and on social media too. And I'd love to hear from you. If you found this helpful, please reach out to me and we'll chat soon. Taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. That's it for me today. That's a episode and season done of Grit and Grace Leadership Talks with Kate Taylor. I want to thank you all for following me this season. I hope you've enjoyed all the speakers that I've had on, all the different themes and the charities that we support. Please jump on and listen to the other episodes as well. It'll be on Apple and Spotify very soon, this episode, as well as in our social media groups very shortly today. So please, love, like, share, whatever you can, because we would love to hear from you. And if you've got any questions about branding or social media, please reach out to me and we will chat soon. Thank you.